YouTube world. Picking Preacher here. I'm about to go head out to an estate sale this morning. I don't have much hope because this company likes to price things really, really high. But we're going to see anyway. But hey, that leads me to kind of a discussion that I was kind of wanting to have recently about the 3 things that I absolutely hate about yard sales. So I will just give y'all some examples. So the other day, me and Eli, it's probably been maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, we got up, we were going to some yard sales in town. It's going to be kind of like this morning. I don't really plan to go to outside of my little community here, so it's going to be very limited in what I can go to this morning. But you know, we're just driving around because sometimes you just find yard sales that are not listed, and so I come across a yard sale. Great, we pull over, we stop, we get out. I see a few things that I wouldn't mind asking, you know, how much it is and about to purchase them. And so we're out there and we're just waiting around. We're waiting, and nobody ever came outside. So eventually me and Eli just we got back in the truck and we left. So that's one of the things that I hate about some yard sales, is that people tend to set up a yard sale and then they either oversleep, which, hey, I get it, man. It's sometimes you just need to sleep, you know. But at the same time, I'm like, man, if you're going to go through all the trouble of setting up a yard sale, you had a customer in your yard and it wasn't even that early. It was like 8:15. And we left because nobody was outside to haggle with us, to take our money, to tell us prices, nothing. And so, man, that's one of the things that just really bothers me about some yard sales, is that people will set up, take the time to do all of this, and then they won't even be outside. Like, I just don't get it. And then there's a second thing that I don't like about yard sales. That same day, actually, you know, some of the ways that we find yard sales here is not only Facebook, not only just driving by, but we also, you know, you come across yard sale signs. All right, sweet. So we found some signs right there in town, in the middle of our little bitty community. We followed the signs. We get to the house, nothing. Absolutely nothing set up. That bothers me to no end, like following a wild goose chase. And, you know, on the sign, it didn't say anything about dates or times. It just said yard sale with an arrow. And so we follow all the signs from like all the streets and the directions, and every time we get to where we think we're supposed to go, there is nothing set up anywhere. Man, that's the second thing that bothers me about some yard sales. When you get done with your yard sale, take up your sign, right? Not only do they look bad, I mean, they're not really pretty decorations after all. Like, but just when you get done, just move your sign. Because then you have idiots like me, you know, who come along and they're like, hey, there's a yard sale, sweet. And there's not. Oh well. And then there's the third thing that bothers me about some yard sales. Now, I will say that this morning I'm kind of expecting this, but it's just high prices. Right, now I understand when you go to an estate sale, you're dealing with a third-party company most of the time, and if they don't sell stuff, they don't get paid because they're getting a percentage, they're getting a cut of everything that is being sold. And so I'm expecting that this morning. In fact, we've already been, they had kind of like half this sale, maybe about a month and a half, 2 months ago. And it was priced more or less, in my opinion, like an antique store or a high-end, like, boutique type store. So I don't have high hopes for this, but I understand that's the case with some estate sales. But man, sometimes you roll up on a yard sale and they just think all of their junk is just top dollar, you know, stuff. Or what bothers me even more is a thrift store. There's a thrift store in the next community over, and hey, listen, I understand that they are trying to make money for their mission that they're doing, and I respect that and I get that. But dude, some of the stuff that they have is just so overpriced. Like, they're pricing video games individually compared on what they see on eBay, and sometimes they're not even looking at the sold listings. I don't know. I just don't like rolling up on a yard sale and finding out that everything is priced at a premium. But Anyway, those are my complaints this morning. But we've just rolled up on this estate sale. I'm going to get you out, and I'll take you along for the ride. And we'll see if we can't find anything. I only got 20 bucks in my pockets today, so we'll see you in a minute.
I can only spot you $10.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Absolutely gorgeous. This house is
I can put it up there for you.
sorry. Is there anything upstairs? Does anybody know?
You can go upstairs.
I can. Okay.
There's 2 rooms that are open, 2 bedrooms.
Okay, thank you. Oh, this house.
I got that one open. I'm walking around the porch.
Goodness, this house is beautiful. Pine Street. Excuse me.
It's a lot of stuff.
I know. I just like the house tour. This is a
Oh, it
beautiful
is.
house. Golly.
It's awesome.
All right, guys. So, like I said, that was priced pretty high. I knew it would be, and hey, they sold stuff. Like, the lady, I overheard the lady right there at the end saying, "Hey, this whole table was full of like jadeite and china." They've been selling some junk, so you know, obviously, it's not. It wasn't honestly priced ridiculous. The Pyrex was a little high. She had 2 pieces of the primary Pyrex. One was green and one was red. The red one was scratched up pretty bad, and the green one had some flea bites and stuff in it. And I think she wanted like 20 bucks for the green one and like 15 for the red. Now, when I've seen that set for sale as a whole, I mean, I see 50, 60 bucks as a whole, and that's in pretty good shape. You know, maybe 75 bucks if it's a whole set in perfect shape. But now my prices could be off. This is the Savannah area, so prices could be priced a little bit higher here. But I mean, most of the prices weren't ridiculous. It was exactly what I would expect to see at some antique stores. There was a really cool clock made by, I think, called the International Record Company or something like that. Super cool manual clock that I wanted, but it was $250. I was like, I bought 20 bucks with me today, you know. But that's kind of what I was expecting. Now, some of the stuff on the porch, you could tell they were just ready to get rid of. Like, it was priced really cheap, and then they just had stuff they were giving away. So honestly, it wasn't too bad. But this was, you know, not day one of the sale. This was probably day, you know, I'd say they've done this maybe twice before, maybe 3 times before now. So this isn't the first weekend they've had the sale. But again, the prices weren't crazy ridiculous, but they were still priced pretty high. Like, I know another lady who does estate sales, and if she would have had some of that Pyrex at her sale, those would have probably been, you know, $7, $8 a piece instead of, you know, what I would consider an antique booth price. Like you go and that's the top. There is no more money to be made off of those. And so again, I respect that. They're trying to get their money. They're trying to make their living, and that's fine. You know, I go into estate sales expecting that. So anyway, I think that's honestly going to be about it for us this morning. There's not really a whole lot else happening. I don't feel like driving all the way back to Rincon. Oh, nope. I've been in Rincon too much. I'm still sleepy. So I'm not expecting to drive all the way back like to one of our different towns. Springfield, Rincon, Pooler, they all have yard sales this morning. Well, I think we're just going to take it easy today. And yeah, I'll just try to post some updates. I have sold a few things while I'm thinking about it. I did buy an axe. I went, cool story, another cool story. This thing is like, there we go. So another cool story, I bought a toolbox off of a fella, I think it was last week right before we left on vacation. And when I got over there, you know, he said, yeah, my dad passed away. I'm really just trying to clean out their house. And I was like, cool. That's, you know, I mean, I hate to hear people, you know, their dad passing or their family passing, because that's what always makes an estate sale hard. But he was like, yeah, I'm just trying to sell everything. So not only did I pick up the toolbox, I paid $5 for a crusty looking old axe, took it back to the shop, fixed it up. I'll try to post pictures of it right here. And I ended up selling it yesterday for $20, so that's a pretty good deal. But also this guy showed me around where his dad and him used to have like a really big shop. And I mean, there was boat motors, there was Wisconsin engines out there, there was mechanics tools, there was at least 6 to 10 cars. I mean, it was just crazy. But I had flip-flops on and it was out in the middle of the woods, and I was like, man, we're gonna have to reschedule so I can come back. So he didn't want me filming out there, which is the only reason why I'm not going to be getting a video, because they've had problems with people coming up and stealing stuff. But if I go out there, I'll try to post, you know, you know, whatever I find out there. But he was a pretty cool guy. I got to invite him to church and everything. So anyway, and other than that, man, it's been really slow. I haven't sold a whole lot of nothing. I sold my Xbox One the other day because I bought the Series X several months ago. I still got $200 for my Xbox One. I think I paid $300 for it like 6 years ago. So I'm not complaining about that. And that kind of paid for our vacation time. But other than that, man, sales have been really dry. I haven't been really buying and selling a lot. Just because it's just been a busy time of season. So, hey, with that said, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, I tell you to do this every time. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel if this is something you like to see. I'm hopefully trying to get back on track, putting more videos out. And as always, guys, remember, stay picking, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.